Hey kids, what time is it?
Hey, it's Edson with GeekTime TV. I wanted to talk about this new line of Ultimate Comics that Marvel launched recently. It's different. They've done this before with the Ultimate Comics before, maybe about 20 years ago or so, maybe less, where Brian Michael Bendis did a whole big run on Ultimate Spider-Man, and I believe Mark Millar was working on the Ultimates, which was their Avengers version of it. But this one, they're calling it again Ultimate. At least the first one that they launched first with it was Ultimate Spider-Man. It's Ultimate Spider-Man again, but it's a different universe. It's a different timeline than the ones they did before. And I just wanted to mention it because it's been quite good. At least the Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm on issue. I have here the latest issue that I have is issue 3, which is and I just want to read real quick the premise of this Ultimate Universe, this particular one that they're doing now. It says, 20 years ago, the Maker prevented a radioactive spider from biting a young Peter Parker. He likewise prevented the creation of any other superheroes and formed a secret council to rule the world from the shadows. 2 months ago, Peter Parker, now a married father of 2, allowed a radioactive spider to bite him after Tony Stark sent Peter a Picotech suit, the spider and warnings of the Maker's Council. Since then, Peter has used his incredible new abilities to pursue the truth of the world, while his uncle, Ben Parker, pursues it through investigative journalism after leaving the corrupt Daily Bugle owned by Wilson Fisk. The one hitch in Peter's heroism: his daughter May Parker has discovered his secret identity. So it's quite different. Peter becomes Spider-Man already as an adult, married to Mary Jane with 2 children, a boy and a girl. And also his Aunt May is not in. She has died previously, and it's actually his Uncle Ben that gets to be in this now, which is quite different. It's quite refreshing. So it's Peter Parker. It's the Peter Parker we know and love, but there's enough differences in there to make it interesting that it's not like a total original reboot. This is written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Marco Checchetto, and I love this art. So there's a real example of the art in here. This is like him, Peter, trying to decide on which costume to use, and he's showing it to his daughter May Parker because she's the one person in the family who already accidentally found out that he's Spider-Man, and so he's just starting out being a superhero as an adult. So he's got it's all just one big learning curve, and he's got Uncle Ben in his life. You saw Wilson Fisk owns the Daily Bugle, so Uncle Ben left the Daily Bugle to do his own investigative journalism. It's really quite good. It's 3. I'm on issue 3. I think 4 might be coming out soon, or might have already come out, but it's quite good. The art is great. The story is great. So if you're somebody who hasn't read a lot of Marvel lately, which I don't blame you, because Marvel Comics hasn't been that great over the last few years. You might want to try this Ultimate line. It's not just Spider-Man. That was the first one, and I definitely like the Spider-Man one a lot for many different reasons. And I don't want to give out, do any more spoilers because it's just starting out. Someone wants to read it, or if you're just somebody who just hasn't read any comic books and wants to start somewhere, this would probably be a great place to start. It is a different, timeline from the main Marvel universe, which is great because they can do something totally new, and I love it. Peter Parker, Spider-Man. There's also, let's see, Ultimate Black Panther. I also have here with issues. I've read it, and it was pretty good as well. Not sure how many more issues I'm going to do with this one because I'm mainly more interested in Spider-Man, but we'll see if it continues to be good. Then I'll try. This one's written by Brian Hill, another really good writer, with art by Stefano Caselli. And they've also launched an Ultimate X-Men, which is a it's very, very different, I'll say, than any other X-Men that they've had. Totally different approach. This is the writer and artist is called Peach Momoko. I had not read comics with her before. I believe she's a Japanese artist, and she's writing this as well. Definitely a totally new approach to the X-Men, which is quite interesting. Here's an example of her art. Seems to be like kind of more like towards the anime style, which makes sense. But it actually makes sense within the context of the story that she's trying to write. It's interesting so far. Again, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stay with Ultimate Black Panther and Ultimate X-Men, but I'll definitely keep going with Ultimate Spider-Man, I think. There's a new one that's going to be coming out soon, I believe next month. Here's kind of the back issue of this. There's the one that's launching next month called The Ultimates, which I believe is the this Ultimate Line's version of the Avengers. I'm going to read that, at least the first couple issues, to see how much I like it. That's written by Dennis Camp and with art by Juan Ferrari. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this Ultimate Line. I really like the Spider-Man one. And I saw this article by Bounding Into Comics, which made me think about this even more, because I had not realized that this is published about a week ago by Rich Johnson. I had not thought about this. What they're doing is, it says Marvel's new Ultimate Comics universe is playing out in real time. And just like he says it here, this is something that initially passed me by. I had not realized that, because I've gotten so used to the way they do comic books in the kind of like normal regular Marvel universe, that nobody ages anymore, that they are actually doing this in real time. In other words, each new issue, another month has gone by in those characters' lives, which is another very interesting thing about this, because now the characters will age and become older, and Peter's kids are going to grow older and go through their adventures and things like that, and I kind of like it. So I just kind of wanted to touch on this as I'm talking about this Ultimate line. Let's see. Marvel's Ultimate Comics line adopts a real-time publishing approach mirroring life. This is something that initially passed me by, but hit me upside the head on a reread. Well, it passed me by as well, and I'm glad you wrote this, because I didn't even get it on the reread. However, the Ultimate Comics line from Marvel is being published in real time, which means that for every monthly issue published, a month is taking place between or during issues for the character. It's not that common, but there are prominent examples, including newspaper strips like Gasoline Alley, For Better or For Worse, and Doonesbury, where the characters have aged, grown, and died through the decades. So yeah, depending on how long they're going to be able to keep, and I hope they keep it going for a long time, we'll see how old the characters get and how all the changes in their lives. Here he says, when the Marvel Universe began, it was also in real time. Peter Parker was a kid who graduated from school, went to college, got a proper job, and married. The Fantastic Four was when Reed and Sue married, had kids, and grew older. The X-Men also moved from college kids to 20-something superheroes. But then the progression stopped or stalled, and Marvel Time, quote, Marvel Time was introduced, a rolling timeline that saw their origins constantly move forward in time, and you get these constant reboots and things like that. So I get why Marvel did it, because they want to make sure that they keep their characters, especially their popular characters, at an age where the next generation, the following generations, continue to enjoy them. I get it, but it's also interesting. It would have been interesting to keep it going in real time as well. And I'm glad they're getting to do this in this kind of Ultimate universe that they're doing now. But the new Ultimate Comics line seems to be doing this as a matter of storytelling choices. Each of the first 3 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man has been set in a different month. And again, when I first read it and I see something like this on the front page, I see, okay, yeah, it's January, it's February, and it didn't even click to me that as the next issue, another month have passed. So I'm glad they had this article. It's really quite interesting. While Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Black Panther don't have this on the nose as much, but a month is passing for each different issue. And here we have the one, I believe this is the third issue of the Ultimate X-Men. And time is being recorded from issue to issue. Here's a page where someone said for 30 days Wakanda has lived in fear, so it's like you go in issue, 30 days have passed. As well as today's Ultimate Black Panther #3, characters saying, oh, it's been weeks since this happened and things like that, so you get the context of it, that real time has passed. What does this mean in practice? Well, the characters will age and the characters will change. In 5 years' time, everyone will be 5 years older. So this especially interesting will be, again, I keep going back to the Ultimate Spider-Man, because he has young kids, and kids change a lot in 5 years. The X-Men school years will race by in retrospect, but there are also other storytelling choices. Cliffhangers are different in that they will get solved in hindsight, because the next issue, will be weeks later. You'll get a big splash page for the big reveal, but the opening of the subsequent issue won't happen directly afterwards, but sometime later. Definitely, hey, it's something different. I like it. I like seeing, it's fine that, you in regular Marvel time, you still have all your characters that haven't aged, but now this is a really great alternative to actually seeing some of these characters age in real time from issue to issue, and I'm gonna enjoy this. Like I said, I really like Ultimate Spider-Man. Peter Parker starts getting his Spider-Man powers already as an adult, and he's kind of bumbling his way through it as he got the learning curve. There's this one, I forgot what issue it was, if it was issues 1 or 2, that he ran into that version of Electro, and Electro gives him this sob story about how, the reason why he's doing this robbery is because, he doesn't have money to feed his family and things like that. And he gives him like this sad story, and next thing you know, Peter kind of drops his guard, and Electro nails him, and he goes flying across. And some things that Peter will have to learn as he learns to be who uses powers and deal with supervillains. I also like the fact that you have Uncle Ben. We never really see we haven't seen Uncle Ben in his life before, so now we see it here. And he's got to juggle his job and family life, married to Mary Jane, and it's really great art as well. The other issues I would definitely recommend trying. I'm trying them out. They're very interesting. Looking forward to the Ultimates coming out next month. And again, if you've kind of given up on Marvel Comics in a while, this might be something you can jump into, and you might find it very interesting. I certainly have. And if you haven't read any comics before, again, this will be a really great alternative if you don't like the mainstream comics. Okay, that's it for me. I'll hope to come back and again in real time and continue, maybe touch on these Ultimate line of comics and see where the characters' lives have gone as time passes. All right, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.